Now, we've been spending a lot of time on Bally Spring recently. Tight lanes, small fields, traditional European map. What happens if I showed you a map that was the complete opposite of that?
I wish I could capture it, I never will. 'Cause I'm not a painter, can't stay in the lines. Just sitting here sipping on dandelion wine.
Hello everyone, it's the FarmSim guy here, hope you're all doing well. We are, if you hadn't already worked out by the flag over there, in Canada. And I am very excited to be able to bring you the exclusive first look at a new map from Northwest Mods and Edits. Now, when I heard Northwest Mods and Edits were doing a map, I was very excited. As you know, if you're a regular watcher of the channel, the quality of their mods, the Ford that you can see over there, and the W990 Kenworth, for example, are phenomenal, right up there as some of the very best mods in FS22. So when they said they were doing a map, I was super excited. And here we are. And I'm not disappointed. But let's go into it in a little bit more detail. I'm going to read out a very nice PDF crib sheet that Jonathan Dubois sent over when he sent over the map to me. And I'm going to read it all out as a lovely little bit of a backstory and the reasons why we have this map and why it is in this area of Canada. Welcome to Evergreen. If you are as passionate about dirt as Mike Mitchell is, then this map might just be for you. Welcome to Evergreen Acres, a fictional, government-subsidised organic farm. You're being tasked with managing a modern cereal grain farm operation based in southwest Saskatchewan, Canada. It was a successful spring seeding and the crop is looking to be in great shape. Should yield great payouts. So sit back and enjoy the summer while your crops grow because a large harvest is around the corner. But can you harvest in time for the cold winter? Make sure your equipment is ready. And heck, why not take out some of the government contracts for the land up north? They're always looking for someone who gives a hoot. Cutting, baling and gathering that hay with the mysterious chemical growing stuff can be very rewarding. Those contracts tend to take up your time, so be prepared and maybe bring in some help. Oh, and don't forget the southern fields need tending too. Rocks everywhere. Good luck with that. So there you go. I love a little bit of a backstory, just something that frames the map and gives people a little bit of something to bring into their gameplay when they start playing. So really nice. Now this map comes with a built-in auto drive course, which is great. So obviously when you load up the map for the first time, make sure you hit no when prompted to auto build the course. He said it's just a basic setup to the buy and sell points, but you can customize it further to your own farming style. The terrain and the environment is based on the little demographic information he could find of a 2 kilometre by 2 kilometre area of southwest Saskatchewan, and of course he's adapted it slightly to work for FS gameplay. The trees you find in this area have most likely been planted to shield from the snow and the wind. For new farmer mode, he's going to have a list of mods that he recommends you download and run. I've done that, so I've got everything that he recommended in on the map to start with. But equally, you can download your own stuff as well. He's also included a few starting vehicles from some of the DLC packs, so if you own the DLC packs, by all means, install those as well. If you haven't got the DLC packs, don't worry about it. You can omit those and add in other mods. Farm Manager and Start from Scratch modes are going to start with a completely clean map with no buildings on the main farm, and you can obviously build up your own farm from there. He's included the foliage cultivator brush as well, and we'll look at that in a little minute, which means you can customize and build new fields, add new fields, and change the layout of the map as much as you want. We've got custom icons in there as well. We have got a dynamic stone pile. All the bins and placeables can be removed and new ones added. And if you use precision farming, he has created an adjustable antenna that you can attach to your building, which will give you more precision farming data, which is awesome. Finally, Jonathan sums up by saying, I hope some of you will find this map enjoyable. It suits my basic gameplay. I love messing around with large-scale farming equipment, and as you might have noticed, I'm a fan of Mike Mitchell. I appreciate the information he shares with everybody. It's quite an operation he runs over there. Check him out on YouTube if you haven't already, and I second that. I love watching Mike Mitchell. Super interesting. So I'll pop a link to his YouTube channel in the description as well if you've never watched. Well worth it. Now, before I go any further with this map, I do need to point out one thing. This is a PC only map. This will only be available through Northwest Mods and Edits Facebook group. It is not going to go to the mod hub. It is not going to be released on console. That's just the way. This is a private map that Northwest Mods and Edits have finally decided to release to the public. So again, I think it's very much a passion project, a very personal project, and that is why it is the way it is. Right, without further ado, we're going to stand here talking for far too long at the moment. Let's pop out and have a look at this map. Now, the first thing that may grab you here is there's nothing here, and it's very flat. The fields are huge. I actually think, and I'm going to jump into the PDA now, so prepare yourself, I actually think these could be the biggest fields of any 2x map we've got in FarmSim. Now, don't quote me on that. I'm sure there are some others out there, but these are pretty big. So there you go. There's your map. 8 fields in total. 1, 2, and 3 are your main fields. And then you've got 5 down here. 4 is kind of an extension of 3, just there. And then 6, 7, 8 along the top. You have got 1 main farm, which is where we are in the middle, which we will go and have a look around straight away. You've got a sell point up here, Southwest Terminal. We will go and have a look at that as well. And over here, you've got all the things you need. You've got a gas station at your co-op. You've got your store. You can buy chemicals. You can buy water, lime, and seeds. And then over here, you've got sell points for your bales, for your slurry, for your manure. The animal dealer is there as well, should you so wish to do animals. And you've got free water. You've also got free water down here as well. And then down here is your stone pile, which we'll go and have a look at in a little bit as well. But first and foremost, let's go and have a look at what is going on the main farm, or the only farm. So here's the main road. And again, simple but effective. I do love, there's a custom grass texture in here as well. Even though there's not a lot going on here, the detail is really, really nicely done. You know, the grass around the flagpole and the rocks around the flagpole, very nicely done. But as we enter the yard here, again, feels like a big Canadian yard, doesn't it? Lots and lots of space. I mean, they are spoiled for space, so why not use it? Let's pop in here, because some of these sheds are very nicely done, and it gives us the opportunity to show you the first of our little custom icons, which I think he's done a wonderful job of. So we've got our light switches here, and if you go up to this one over here, let's pop our HUD up a second so you can see it. That one is to turn on exterior lights, and if we head over here, this one turns on the interior lights. So let's turn on the interior lights. You can see that works very nicely. Turn those off again, and let's turn on the exterior lights. I'm not going to get much out of those at the moment because it's the middle of the day, but you can see that they are on, and they've got this lovely little particle effect. You can see the particles just moving in the light shaft there, and a little bit of mist or dust. That's very nicely done. So we like those. Now, of course, not everybody likes to play with these on for immersion, so of course you can turn these off, just like all the other icons. Now let's head out. We've got these big grain bins here. As I said in the description at the start, all of these are individual, so you can delete these should you so wish. Got some of the augers up there as well, so traditional bins. We've got seed and fertilizer here, so you can stock up with those there. A couple of massive Borgo drills and air carts, as you would expect to see somewhere like this. A couple of trailers there, ready to haul grain to the sell points. Now, there's a little shed here. Everything obviously inside. You don't want to leave your vehicles outside up in this part of the world, especially not in the winter, with the conditions being as harsh as they can be. But in here, we've got the Fendt 1100. Like I said, he recommends a list of mods in the description for the map, which I'm sure when he releases the map he will release as well. but I strongly recommend you download those mods because they are very, very good. There's your light switches again. And again, door switches here, just so you can see. There we go. Nice animations on the doors as well. And over here, we have got an even bigger shed. Now, I am going to go in here because it shows you the start equipment we've got as well. Another reason why it's worth downloading some of these mods, because that Fent, for example, is one of Jonathan's mods, and it's well worth having on your farm. So let's pop in here. Light switches again. 3x9s waiting to hit the fields. We are in Canada after all. And we've got a high-speed disc there, and we have got a couple of auger wagons as well. Looking ready to go. This is a nice touch as well, actually. You can change the colour of the frame in your building if you want to. There we go. We've just repainted the whole building and back to black. Very nice. Just pop the big door here, just so you can see it. There we go. Right, we've headed over from the other side there, the grain bins. Again, another one of Northwest Mods and Edits mods is this trailer with the tank on the back. You've got your liquid fertilizer and herbicide storage here, and then another small shed. Just pop this, and in here is the 4045 sprayer from Northwest Mods and Edits 2. This was out a while ago. I actually did a video on this a few months ago now. An absolutely fantastic mod, and perfect for this map, I think. So very nicely done. Again, repaint your building if you want, and there's your light switch icons. Right. I guess that's kind of it for the farm, really, isn't it? Simple, but authentic, I would say. Right, let's jump back into the PDA, and I can show you a few bits and pieces there. So as you can see here, we actually have got a reduced set of crops. I think Northwest Mods and Edits and the way they play is very realistic. So actually, they've taken the liberty of removing any crops that probably wouldn't and don't get grown up there in Saskatchewan. So you're not seeing things like cotton in there, for example. I kind of like that. I like the fact that it's authentic. In terms of precision farming, you have got your soil map there, so you can see that. And again, just the size of these fields. I'm going to go back actually and give you an idea for the price of them. So if I wanted to buy field 1 now, we're in new farmer mode. So you own all of these fields already. But if you want to purchase this one, if you want in one of the other modes, 7.9 million for that. 62,000 hectares, 61,000 hectares, 6.3 mil, and then field 5 and 4 come together as a set, and they're 5.8 million, 6, 1.9, bargain. And there you go, field 8 there, 210,000. Field 9, 1.7 mil, and 160,000 up in the top corner there. Now, I just wanted to show you this in the build mode, and we're going to have a quick look at the foliage cultivator brush that was created by Empro Loop, and it's in plants, and if you scroll along to the end, you have this here. It's called Field Create. Now, all I'm going to do, paint a little square here, and then when I jump out of this mode, you will see that that has created a field. So there you go, owned by me. No soil data yet, but if I move off it and over here, that info disappears because this is just painted textures. Move back onto it, we have a field. So again, that gives you the opportunity to build your own fields, create your own fields, change the way that this is laid out as much as you want to, and that's just quite a nice little addition, I think, especially on a map like this where you have only got, in essence, 5 or 6 big fields to play with. So it's nice to have that variety and the way to build it yourself. Look at that plane flying over as well. It's a nice touch. The second plane in a map in as many days I've seen. Right, we are going to jump in the truck. We're going to run up to the top of the map. It'll give you an idea for the size of some of these fields. But we'll run up to the top of the map, have a look at the sell points and things like that. Right, let's jump in our truck, and that reminds me, beautifully done Saskatchewan number plates as well. That's the kind of Northwest mods and edits, attention to detail that I love. Right, let's fire the truck up and let's head north. And it does give us the chance just to see how expansive these fields are. I mean, look at that. As far as the eye can see. But let's roll on up here. You can see we've got telegraph poles in the field as well, and I'm going to touch on that in a little bit from a courseplay perspective, because, as you would expect from Mr. Jonathan Dubois, attention to detail wise, he's even built in islands around those so they don't get snarled up with courseplay. And I will set up a course just to show that. Now, I do want to talk about the edge of the map, because it's very difficult. I think it's very easy if you've got a map that's got lots of hills and edges around it to be able to create a map border that looks or that basically avoids you feeling like you're right on the edge of the map. Really difficult to do when you're on something like a Saskatchewan map where it is pan flat as far as the eye can see. And as you can see, he's done a really nice job here with putting stuff out with the boundary of the map. Obviously the low res additional boundary is not a prerequisite, but necessary from a performance perspective. But I think there's actually not a bad solution there. It doesn't detract at all from the rest of the map. So actually, fair play to be able to have managed to do that, because that is a difficult thing to do. Right, let's hang a left here. Again, even these small fields, I call them small fields, but this field here, look how long it is. I mean, it's a classic standard size map, 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers, but man, does it feel bigger just with those fields. There's the main farm over there, and look at just the expanse of that field is insane. Absolutely insane. Right, I'm gonna have to do some overtaking. We can't spend all day parked behind these dudes, because we're gonna head over to this buy and sell point over here. At least you can see what's coming in the other direction. I can pull in here. We'll just park up here again. Just nice attention to detail, having the vehicles and things here. Let's turn this off. We've even got a front loader here, or a wheel loader. Should you want to shift grain around while you're here, which you can jump into and use. Look at that, which is nice. Again, just the telegraph poles and the attention to detail around the outside here. Flag on the building as well. Cones and things like that you can pick up and throw about. Now if we go around here, got a pedestrian walking about, looking very purposeful. Look at this! Custom icons again. How nice is that, to know that you can buy your seed, dry fertilizer and lime if you pull under that loading point. That's pretty cool. And then round here, this is your tip point, or your sell point for your crops. So that's nice. I do like those extra icons though. That's a nice touch. I think that's the first time I've seen that done that way. Just using the base game icons in a different way. Nicely done. But that's it. That's your sell point. Now we'll head along to the co-op, which is back the way we came. Look at that. Even though that is a base game shed, just the way it's been placed and the position of it and things like that, just so in keeping with the map. So nicely done. The traffic seems to behave as well, which is quite nice. Now usually I leave my HUD up here with the map up, the mini-map up, but in the circumstances of this map, I don't think I need to. I'll be really honest with you here. We've got one road across the top, one road down the middle, another road going across just at the bottom, and then we've got a road that goes right around the outside of the map, and that is it. It's going to be impossible to get lost. If you get lost on this map, you've got bigger issues. Right. Just past the T-junctions, that's the road that heads back down to the main farm, or the only farm. And here is our co-op. So let's have a look at this. Okay, here is our co-op. There's your gas there. Shop there. And I believe if we go around here, we've got our purchase points for fertilizer, seed, liquid fertilizer, herbicide. There's a water point there. We've got a forklift truck over there as well. We've got a mechanics there. So there's your shop. Again, those custom icons as well at the bins. So you can see which one is which. I do like that. Nice touch. Same for water there as well. And again, the forklift truck that you can jump into. Already dirty as well. I like that. Right, back in the truck, because we've got one more point to look at. Up here. And then we'll go and have a look at the probably the only other point on the map that has a real function. That is the stone pile. But we'll just nip down here. You can see the cars disappearing off map there. We are right on the edge of the map here. But let's pull into here. Government of Canada Grasslands Compound. In essence, what we've got here is sell points or buy points for slurry, manure and bales. So you can see those there. Simple as that. Nicely laid out though. And sorry, I completely missed that on the way in, but we've got the animal dealer there. So you can either load up with animals, you can have them delivered directly to your farm. Right, we are heading back to our farm here. Let's just nip in front of this van. We're just going to run back down the road to the farm here. That's really just about it. I will go and show you the stone pile, just so you know where it is. But in essence, it's a tip and fill point. And in the description for the map, they did say that there was a lot of stones on the map, so something if you want to play really authentically, you could get stuck into. Now you can see some of the undulations in the road here actually, and the farmland, which is nice. It isn't completely pan flat. It also gets to see this little waterway here as well. But right next to this waterway is our stone pile. And it looks like, based on the two icons, that you can either dump stones here, or you can collect stones from here. Now, the other interesting thing about this is there's nowhere to convert stone to lime, but if you wanted to download an additional production, and all of those stones that you find in your field, so look, as you can see on the edge of the field here, lots of stones in the field. This could be your storage point, but you could take them and get them converted to lime, which is nice. Now, I've gone and bought a tractor and trailer down here, as I want to test this out. I want to know if you can fill and empty from here. So, let's find out, shall we? Let's turn our HUD on, so we get our triggers, so you can see in the right spot. There we go. We can tip our stones there. Now that pile is growing. Can you see that? That's quite nice, isn't it? I'm intrigued to see how we fill from here. We'll let it all empty out. We'll do a little bit of a loop around. We'll try and refill. So somewhere about here. There we go, I've hit the R button. And you can fill them up again. That is nice, I like that. Nice and simple. Very good. Right, we are back in the truck here, and that's one thing I might as well try out if it's existing on the map, and that is the built-in auto drive course. Main farm. I'm going to guess that's as good as anywhere to start us off. We'll hit the button, and off we go. And we will see you back at the farm. And there we go. Arrived. Very nice. Right. Oh yes, the RTK station. I did want to show you that. Northwestern Mods and Edits have included this RTK antenna that you can attach to buildings on your farm. Now, as you can see, at the moment, it's saying overlaps with another object, so you can't do anything about it. So what we'll do is quickly, if we pull up our F1 menu here, and we turn off toggle free mode, which is a V, and then you can see 650, you can place that, and if we come out of the menu, there you go, there's your antenna station. Now you can go up to it as well, and you can put it in a different position, so you can have it higher up if you want to. And of course that works with precision farming, give you additional data and information. So again, I like the fact you can bolt it to a side of the building as well, rather than having it freestanding. That's a nice touch. Just again, one of the little just nice touches that I've seen on this map that I really, really like. Right, I did promise you I was going to show you courseplay on this and how it will avoid these power lines in the field. So let's jump into the courseplay menu and we'll set up a course quick. Right, there's our fent in the field. Create job. Let's switch to courseplay fieldwork. As you can see, picked up the border of the field already. That field's crazy. It's going to take us forever to do this. So we'll open the course generator. Number of headlands, 4. I think 4 is pretty good. We'll go counterclockwise because that's the way I've pointed the tractor, no more than that. Now, island bypass mode, you've got a few options here. You can have it simple, no bypass, or circle. Circle I tend to like. That's the one that gives you a little bit more finesse around obstacles in the field. So we'll go with circle. We'll hit generate fieldwork course. Of course, the size of the field means it may take a few seconds to do, but as soon as that's done, we can jump out and I can show you what it looks like. And there we go. If I jump out of here now, let's just click off the tractor for a second if we can. Not letting us. But you can see here where the telegraph poles are. It's got very nice structured circles around them so you don't bash into them. Excellent stuff. So there you go. That is Evergreen from Northwest Mods and Edits. A super simple map, but I think in its essence makes it a really pure map. You've got nothing to do here than look after some very, very big fields. It feels, you know, I'm not Canadian. I've not spent a lot of time in Canada, and I've certainly never spent any time in Saskatchewan. But when I see Mike Mitchell's videos on YouTube, this feels to me like Saskatchewan. Just massive open plains of miles and miles and miles of gargantuan size fields, and for that reason I really love this map. And like I said, the polar opposite of something like Ballyspring, and I think there's a space in FarmSim for a map like this just as much as any other map, and I love it. I love it. I think I could see myself getting 6 combines into a field and really doing a massive harvest and really going for it with some big equipment. So I hope you like this. I don't have any details yet about release dates. It feels very finished, I have to admit. So I'm kind of hoping it's not going to be too long, but of course keep an eye on the Northwest Mods and Edits Facebook page for any new and additional information. And a big thank you again to them and to Jonathan Dubois for letting me give you an exclusive first look at this. I hope you like it. I sure as hell do. I think it's a beauty, and when you guys get hold of it, I hope you do too. So for me, for now, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.
Watching the sunset on Tennessee hills. I wish I could capture it, I never will.